Oh,
Oh,
man.
I cannot wait. I
Massive
cannot
underdogs.
wait.
Massive underdogs, bro. Massive underdogs. Massive underdogs.
We can do it 2-1.
I don't want to look. I don't want to look beyond the semi-finals, right? Because I'm not going to sleep on Chelsea because I know Chelsea are a good team, right? But there could be a Manchester. There could be a Manchester derby final.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Dave, what's your reaction to getting Man United? We have battered you 4 times on the bounce. Are you worried?
You haven't battered us. We played better than you. It's just that you've won. That's literally been the
4
difference.
times on him.
No. The past three times that it's happened, like the 4-0, we were better than you for most of that game. You literally beat us. Then I remember Rashford's free kick. When we played better than you, and you were the one team I didn't want. I'm not gonna lie, you were the one team I didn't want because I know we could beat the other two. But against United, it'll be interesting. But I think there's a chance we win. I think it's like 55-45 to United.
Bro, of course there's a chance you'll win, 110%, right? But this season, we are beating you 8-1 over the course of 3 games. Bro, that's like 11 versus 7.
We've played better. We just have.
You didn't play
How?
better.
You lost 4-0.
No. Go watch the games back. For most of the game, we play better. It's just that you get a goal and then our team I don't know what happens.
Football is a game of
Dave, listen, my friend.
Chelsea had a few spells in that 4-0 win. I must admit, started off pretty well, but you did get your ass battered in that game.
No, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. We lost 4-0, of course. But we were playing better. We were. In all the games we played you.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Dave.
An extended
Here's
period where we
the
played better.
thing.
It's just that we haven't got
didn't win, bro.
How are you gonna say that? How are you gonna say you were playing better in a game that you lost 4-0? You lost 4-0. You can't say you played better. The stat at the end of the game, the only stat that matters is the score.
No, bro, I've sat through many games where Chelsea have been the worst team, but I've got the win. Literally, all the games this weekend have been maybe not the best team winning, like who have played the best, but the team getting the result, and it's cup football. So that's why I say that the favour is more in favour of United than Chelsea, because even though we play better, even though we might play better, you have got the result on us for the past 4 times. So that's why I'm going to put the favour in Man United, but I still think Chelsea have a good chance of winning.
You got to remember, this is a different Manchester United Chelsea will be facing too.
Yeah, and this is a different Chelsea you'll be facing as well.
It's Manchester United with McTominay, Fred, and Lingard in the middle. That's all you got to remember that as well. You're gonna be facing Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and Matic in that midfield. And I don't think the game is gonna go down as well as much as you think last one did. Last winner we had, was it a 2-1 with that Rashford free kick?
Yeah.
Stamford Bridge. It wasn't so great game per se.
Sorry, boys. So we've got a few more calls we can jump onto. Bush League Pundit, thank you very much for coming on, bro. Egal as well, thank you very much, my man. I really appreciate it. We've got Indiana we're adding here, and I don't know how to pronounce his name because it's the letters are all up and down, and it plays absolute havoc with my dyslexia. But welcome. How do I pronounce it, bro?
It's just Ches. It's Chesney.
Sorry,
but I call myself Ches.
All right, cool. What's that word before it? How do I pronounce that? Because you do realize how you've written that. It's how I literally. Slat, is that what it is? Do you know why I ask, right? So
it's just something like music.
In case you don't know, the way my dyslexia works, when I see letters, see how you've spelled it? That's how I see letters normally, right? That's how they look to me on a page. So when someone writes a word like that, my brain just cannot read it. So I look at it and it makes me laugh because I'm conscious of it now. I'm older and I've learned about it. And I look at it and my brain's just going, no, mate, just stop trying and ask. But listen, you've got Man United.
No, I'll get rid of it for next call. You
don't need to, bro. I just want to ask. Now I know. You've got Man United in the semi-final. Are you as confident as Dave?
See, Dave is. I think he's talking facts. I have to be real. We did play better in all the games. I'm a realist. So if I would admit here, I'll say right. Man United could pop us. They can, but I'm just not sure this time round if Lampard gets a good run of games towards the end of the season. Let's say we get top 4. Actually, I think it depends who gets top 4. I think it depends who gets a bigger momentum to the game because on paper the games are quite even. You don't forget the first game we played against you. It was Lampard's first game, and we dominated the game. Just you guys had Ollie in the experience, and you just took your chances. I don't think all the victories you were like a lot better than us. On paper, stats could like look. I don't know.
What I would say, I get your point. In the first game, there was a definite. You were moving the ball better. You were passing it well. Tammy hit the post early on. I think Emerson hit the crossbar as well. You know, and we did go on to beat you. The next two go though. Stamford Bridge, where our record isn't particularly great. We're not there to dominate the ball. We counter-attacked you to death, and we beat you. I think that's the one thing that's a psychological edge for us. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to win. And trust me, I never sleep on Chelsea because our record against you, it's the most painful one in my lifetime. We just don't have a great record against you as a general rule. So I'll never sleep on Chelsea. But there is psychological damage there. And the players...
They had 3 on the bounce as well at Stamford Bridge. I swear we beat them in FA Cup last season as well.
And that's my point. I think there's... And I know Lampard's different, but there will be psychological damage because of that. There is psychological damage. You know, it's like Arsenal whenever they play the top 6 teams. Arsenal get turned over so much because they're psychologically damaged by, generally speaking, by what the top 6 do to them. The only team, generally, that Arsenal in the last 5, 6, 7 years have really stepped up to on a regular basis has been Tottenham. And why? Because Tottenham's psyche against Arsenal is finished. So it's going to be an interesting one. How about the other game?
Yeah, it will be interesting.
Actually, Indiana, I know you're a United fan. What did you make of the draw?
Worried me, if I'm honest. I'd rather have Arsenal. I look at games as odds. What are the odds? So a bit like roulette. You know, what's the chances of getting red or black? And me, like beating Chelsea 3 times, they're due a win. We've been beat by Arsenal, we're due a win. That's how I look at it. I rang in after the first game when we beat Chelsea, and I said to them, we cannot base our team or Chelsea team on that game. That game was by the by. That was Frank first in, and Chelsea looked completely unsettled. I love what he's doing with Chelsea, if I'm honest. I think he's got loads of talent.
Keep saying it. I want to hear it more.
I can only be honest about it. If I'm honest, like Loftus-Cheek, I think he's incredible. When that guy gets going, wow. I mean, yeah, he's just great. I'm more worried right now, even though we have Pogba and Bruno coming in, you know, back into form.
Do you know what? I think being worried fine, and I want the Man United players to have an element of worry. And I actually think playing Arsenal would be the worst case scenario because I think you might go into it a little lackadaisical, as Chelsea did in the final back in 2017. I think a little like United did in the final in 2018, where we went into the game, and I think we thought Chelsea under Conte were poor, it'd be relatively easy, and we never really got going. So I want that. And also Chelsea fans, a lot of Chelsea fans on Twitter I'm reading, they're like well happy that they've got us because Chelsea fans want payback. And do you know what? If Chelsea beat us in the semi-final and then finish above us in the league, then all the other victories this season count for nothing. And that's the great thing about individual results. It's where you end up at the end, you know. The only team, City and Liverpool, can end up with better seasons than Man United. But if we go on and win the FA Cup, win the Europa League, make it into that top 4, the only team then that could really speak above us would be Liverpool. And then if City win the Champions League. Aside from that, like we can still have a better season than City. And that's why I'm desperate to win it. But what we do know, what a festival of football we are going to have that weekend. Hopefully by then we can get the watch-alongs to a point where we can actually have some people in the studio. So we might be able to arrange something. But yeah, I want to. That's going to be absolutely lit. So I'm excited about that. As it stands right now, though, David, let me come to you first. Arsenal, City, followed by United, Chelsea. Who are you tipping to go through?
I'm biased. I'm going to have to say City and then Chelsea.
Indiana, who are you tipping to go through?
I'd love to see a Manchester derby. I'd love it. I just think it's going to be tight for us. I cannot see Bruno.
I wouldn't be that negative about your team. Man United's team is still good.
It is.
Like even Chelsea, I admit you.
Got a lot.
The team's not like we.
Got a lot more depth. Sorry, kids running around everywhere. 3-year-old. I just feel like Chelsea got more depth. Bruno looked a little bit burnt out the other day to me. I think he's being sucked down to levels that he shouldn't be, and he needs to keep fresh. And we don't have that depth. I mean, Chelsea have got like Gilmore, Loftus-Cheek, and as much as I don't rate Ross Barkley, he does perform
Jorginho.
sometimes. Jorginho's incredible.
Yeah, Jorginho hasn't even
outstanding.
featured this season.
Yeah, Genius be on the bench for all these games. He hasn't played.
I think the guys out.
Yeah, no, I get that. So I mean, who you tipping to go? What's your head saying is going to go through?
My head saying United, and see go through.
There we go.
I think it'd be
Ches, who are you going with?
Yeah, I have to go with Chelsea. It's gonna be a tight one, but I think we can do it if we're our first 11. And I'm going to say City, obviously, because Arsenal's weak. If they get through, I'll give everybody in this chat 50 quid. I'm that confident. They ain't going nowhere.
All right, Zane. Is you really called Zane? Elite, what are you thinking?
Obviously, man's going to say United. It'll be a close game, but I think with our full midfield, I don't think the Chelsea defense could handle it per se. So I feel like Pogba, Bruno, Matic, and Martial might do a madness. And then when it comes to Man City, Arsenal, obviously Arsenal are going to get slapped up in it. So
yeah.
So it's going to be City. I cannot wait for that game. I want to inject that game to my veins already.
Man City will dismantle Arsenal.
Who's making that noise?
I have no idea what that noise was. I think it might have been Forward just sorting himself out. We'll come back to him in a sec. City. Yeah, that is cool. That's really noisy, bro. I don't know what that is in the background, bro. Just sort that out first, and we'll put you through. Yeah, City for me will dismantle Arsenal. It will be like lambs to the slaughter because you know what they've got to do. And I was chatting to a City fan the other day. Is a colleague of mine at work, and he just said that City fans are hoping for this, that we just use the Premier League to keep ourselves fit and fresh. The FA Cup and the Champions League are imperative for City. They win both those tournaments. They have a better year than Liverpool in most of their eyes. And I actually agree with them on that. If you win 3 trophies, one of them a Champions League, you're flying. And Man United, Chelsea, listen, we have beaten them in the last 4 games, but I'm like I said already in the show, I will never sleep on Chelsea. They've got some absolute top-class talented players. You know, you can't sleep on Kante. I think Willian's a good player. You know, I'm not their biggest fans. I don't think they're going to be leading stars in the future because they're going to be building up the squad. You know, but Tammy, if he has a good game, he can beat you. He's a good quality player, as an example. You've got Pulisic, who just looks like he's starting to purr. Jorginho may be back in then. What Chelsea have that we don't, I think they have a bit more quality and depth. And with 5/6 substitutions allowed, they can do something. Yeah. However,
what I was going to say was, go on.
Yeah. Go on, mate. Go on.
I was going to say, that's the thing. That's what I said. It's got everything to your top 4. I honestly think if your team goes through burnout and you make it, even if we do make it or we don't, that's going to be the determining factor. If your team's, because I think the match is on what, the 11th or something?
No,
the 11th of July. So
18th
18th.
19th. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah? That's not too bad. But I still think the squad depth will definitely play a part. Like we today put in our 3 midfielders for the first half. And then we just took off like Willian. You see what I'm saying? There's little things like that, whereas your players played almost, 50 minutes.
Yeah, and I get that. And that all could play a part. But I'm not going to... I know you can beat us. But I'm going to back Ollie and his boys to go out there and do it. I think there is too much psychological damage and psychological edge that's going to be in Manchester United's favour. And Paul Pogba and Bruno have just looked delicious together. And by then, they would have gelled. We haven't seen Rashford get back anywhere near to his best yet due to how long he's been out as well. Pogba ain't even near his best either. These boys will be fit soon at the same time. And defensively, we're just not conceding goals. We're just not conceding. Again, yesterday's goal is more of a mistake than it was anything else. We've got Forward that we're going to add to this call now. Hopefully it's working now. Forward, can you hear us, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mate. Perfect. Yeah, so just in terms of that, as I said, nice. I'm tipping City to go through, and I think Man United might do it narrowly. But like I always say, I'd never sleep on Chelsea. Their record against us is great. What did you make of the draw? Is it what you wanted, Forward?
I mean, it's what I predicted an hour ago. And if anybody's been following the FA Cup and the League Cup over the last couple of years, everybody knows Man City always get easy draws, and Funny enough, they got another easy draw. Now, having said that, to Arsenal's credit, they do have a pretty good record in the FA Cup.
It's fixed.
So I think they won it 8 times in the last 26 years. So they could have a chance of bringing up an upset, but I highly doubt it. I think Man City are pretty much a lock to be in the final. And that's for the other game. I think for me, that is pretty much a 50-50. Given United's form in 2020 and obviously their record against Chelsea over the last year, especially under Oli versus Frank Lampard, I think they have a really good style of football that really is a really good counteract towards what Lampard does in possession, especially with that Chelsea team. But for me, right, this is going to be a lot different to the 3 games that we've had already this season. As now we've got Kante who's actually going to be playing this game, hopefully if he stays fit, which we didn't have for the first 3 games this season. He's also now playing as the DM, which is a new role to him, but again, as the actual DM in the team, and providing more of a solid base to help that defense, rather than Jorginho, who, yes, is good on the ball, but doesn't really protect and screen that defense as Kante can do. I think we're going to have a lot more of a balanced team that's going to be able to counteract what Pogba and Fernandes are doing. So for me, I'm very confident that we're going to get this job done here. So yeah, we'll see.
You're very confident.
Yeah, I'm confident. And but I think what a lot of you said it's going to be close. The Man United Chelsea game, barring the first game of the season, the 4-0. Like, yeah, there's banter, and then there's people being real. It was what it was. It was a scoreline that didn't reflect. If we'd have beaten you 1-0 in a narrow game, that would have been a fair scoreline for the type of performance because you didn't take your chances. A little bit like the reverse today against Leicester. Although you were very good in that second half, Leicester should have scored 2 or 3 goals in the beginning, but you ended up winning 1-0. That kind of feels a bit like United's game. However, the other 2 games, again, were just still very close, even though United come out on top. And that's why I said for the last couple of days, I didn't want Chelsea, because at some point, our luck's going to run out. The irony will be, we'll probably play better than you in the semi-final, and you'll beat us. And it will just be a little bit ironic, rather than getting battered by you and whatnot. But having said that, I'm watching this Newcastle game, 60 minutes on, it's still only 1-0 City. I wonder if Newcastle players know it's Arsenal in the semi-final, because that could be a motivator for Newcastle, knowing that.
This is also,
it could be.
if you think about it, this is also a big test for the 3 managers, Arteta, Oli, and Lampard, because they haven't really gone that far in knockout competitions yet. So it'll be very interesting to see how they perform as managers as well in this scenario.
Yeah, I completely and utterly agree. Forward, I haven't really had a chat with you for a while on here. I know we to and fro with each other on Twitter, which I always enjoy about it, because we've met and we kind of know each other. I just take it as jokes. I always have the people that respond on my or your behalf who don't know that. They always make me laugh. It's like, yeah, it's just a joke, mate. How excited are you about the signings that are coming in at Chelsea?
Oh, I mean, I'm very excited. I mean, I feel like most Chelsea fans it's like, we had Christmas postponed for a year, and now we're getting all our Christmas presents at once. So we're just all gassed about it, man. I mean, we had to wait a long time to make some signings, and to see players like Ziyech coming, who obviously we've seen firsthand what he did to Chelsea and what he's been able to do in the Champions League the last couple of years. I think that's going to be a quality signing. I'm still not completely convinced on Werner, but at the same time, I think, again, only 24 years old, had a record-breaking season in the Bundesliga this year. So again, there's plenty of room to grow there, and I feel like he can be a very good addition to our strike force, alongside the likes of Abraham, Pulisic, and obviously Ziyech as well, and potentially Havertz as well. I mean, if we pull off Havertz, I mean, what a window that would be. That would be absolutely amazing.
Apparently, we're trying to get Declan Rice 45 million as a ball player.
No, that Declan Rice centre back thing, I don't like it.
I wouldn't mind.
I feel like he's just as average as all our other centre backs. If we sign a centre back, they need to be that level above the Christiansen, the Ridiger, the Zuma.
And that's what you're doing with attacking players. Like, I mean this honestly. I don't dislike Tammy Abraham. I don't think he's ever going to get.
There we go.
No, but it's true. I don't think he's ever going to be the Drogba that a lot of people were saying earlier on in the season. He's never going to reach.
Do people really say that though?
No, I don't think
Chelsea fans say that though.
No, but my point is that you need a player of that level to make you title winners again, make you Champions League winners again. As a general rule, you're going to need players of that quality. Does Mason Mount have the ability? No one's ever going to score the goals for you Lampard did, but to influence the amount of games that Lampard did, no. And that's
I think Mason Mount could be our genie.
Yeah, maybe, but then that's not the crowning jewel in your team. My point is the signings that Chelsea are making or looking to make in the attacking roles, for me, comprehensively improve your team tenfold. They are top level. Like, I've got no bad word to say about it. You haven't seen any salt from me towards Ziyech. None of this, he's played in the Dutch league. No, I've seen him do it in the Champions League. The man's a baller. By the way, just to all the stupid Man United fans that were crying about how many times in a game Bruno Fernandes loses the ball. Ziyech averages 4 more losses the ball per game. Why? Because he's goddamn creative. Creative players lose balls. Ziyech is a ball. Werner is amazing. There's no doubt about it. Kai Havertz, do I think he's a 90 million pound player yet? No, 70 million. I would probably pay it.
Oh, what's it, Terry?
Top brass, and you won't see me slag them off unless they flop. If they flop, I'll go in. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh no, they're rubbish and Chelsea buying this. No, I don't do that kind of salt. They're quality and they're better than everybody else you currently have in those positions. So if you're going to buy a centre back, they've got to be substantially better. They've got to be a Koulibaly level, a Harry Maguire level. They've got to be better.
Hell no.
Terry,
Let me just finish.
No, wait, because Kai Havertz, right? I think his price isn't going to be as high as we're all touting it to be, because what just happened is they didn't qualify.
They didn't get Champions League.
Yeah, they didn't get Champions League this season. And if they go on to lose the final next weekend, then he's going to be in a spot where he's not going to be happy that he's just lost out on not only Champions League, but a potential trophy as well. And if he doesn't want to be there, then obviously they're going to have to settle. And I haven't heard anyone actually putting in any serious offers yet. So if we can put that interest in like we did with Werner, I'm sure we can get them a lot cheaper than 85 odd million euros.
You will get it cheaper. You seriously will. The only way you'll pay that full whack is if a Bayern Munich or someone else is interested in bids that amount of money. Most German teams of that level have to sell. It's part of their business model. It's like buying the thing with Borussia Dortmund. Like, again, so I've been sent to about 12 DMs this afternoon. Oh my God, the chief at Dortmund said they think they might keep the player next year. Of course they're going to say that. They're putting pressure on Man United to bid the additional money. When push comes to shove, the only way United are paying 130 million euros is if multiple teams or one other team put in a serious bid of that level. But you also realize that if another team comes in for Jadon Sancho and says, yeah, but we're not paying above 90 million either, then Dortmund are screwed. They're going to have to accept those level bids. And then you might create a bidding war and you try and out each other. But that's about it. Newcastle's missed an open goal. Oh, right now, you muppet. You muppet. It was literally 2 yards.
Man City lose.
Was it Joelinton?
No, it's Dwight Gale. Over the bar. Oh. I can't. If
Gale's playing.
I can't show it. So they gave it away at the back, playing at the back. He crosses. Oh, it's a tap in. It's a tap in, you prick. You prick.
Terry, literally 10 minutes ago, Terry's like, I want the derby. I want the derby now.
Wait a second. We don't want Newcastle to win because Arsenal might actually go through to the final.
No, but that's fine.
Exactly. That's even better. Because when you beat them in the final,
trust me.
Exactly.
Chelsea United fans, just join forces for a second, right? Who would you rather in the final, Arsenal or Newcastle or City? Really?
Okay.
It's true.
Arsenal, 100%.
Definitely Arsenal.
I'd rather play Arsenal than Newcastle, because Newcastle's one of those teams where it's like you can have possession of the ball the whole game, but they get a corner in the 90th minute, ball's going in the goal. You just know it. Arsenal, it's like you can break them down easily, and especially with
Imagine David Luiz comes back to haunt us.
No, let's not go into that.
Imagine that happens.
That'd be a mad
clown hair, long shot.
David Luiz throws when David Luiz has his great performances where he's brilliant, it just does one of them out of nowhere.
Bangs a free kick, bangs a 35-yard free kick.
Yeah.
Guendouzi's running around like he's or whatever. Like that, those things can happen on their day. Do you know what I mean? But I was actually I think I was secretly wanting a Chelsea Man United final. Something quite special about that. It's sort of the late noughties type of stuff. Most of our finals are dead, Most of our finals are dead. They're never really exciting. Other than none of you remember the one in the early 90s where I think we slapped you 4-0 or 4-1 at Wembley. Other than that, like they're always really, really. That was proper Chelsea before they were owned.
We could join forces in because I don't think Leicester get in top 4. I think it'll be Chelsea.
Raheem Sterling.
I was about to say it's definitely going to be City now. It's definitely City now.
Into the bottom corner. I agree with you. Leicester are sinking honestly, they're sinking.
We're 1 point behind them. So
yeah, you guys are going to be in front of them within 3 or 4 games. They've won 4 games in all competitions in their last 14 matches. Brendan Rodgers is a serial bottler. Like whenever he gets close to something, he chokes. He's just awful, honestly.
I was going to say today before my mic didn't work, I said today was the worst performance I think I've seen of Chelsea since Lampard's been here. and somehow Leicester looked worse than us.
Mate, I actually thought it was a Lampard masterclass. What he did at halftime, and I know I bantered it on socials, but on a real level, to have the balls, to have the confidence, to have the squad on your side, to be able to make those changes at halftime, drag them off, replace them with players that, look, Reece James is going to be a star, I'm sure of it. Billy Gilmore, we don't know about yet. Mason Mount, everyone knows my views on him. I think he'd be a good squad player for you. But he made those decisions, and then you were just considerably better in the second half. You addressed the areas where they were getting in the right-hand side of your defense. It was putting Rudiger being pulled too far over because Reece James' positional sense wasn't quite where it needs to be. That'll get better. But I love what Frank Lampard did. And that's a sign of a great team in the making, where you can play awfully, make a big change, and then you scrap out a result, and it's done and it's over. But yeah, Leicester just look dead at the moment. They scored one goal.
I don't know where they're going to get goals from.
Isn't it Vardy's gone
The
quiet?
service to Vardy wasn't great. They kept on trying long balls. That wasn't working.
Oh yeah,
Madison's
Madison's injured as well.
Madison had a knock. I think he'll be back next game, I think.
Madison's
just wanted to make sure he wasn't injured.
I was looking at this. He scored 2 goals against Aston Villa, Jamie Vardy, in March. But that's literally the only goals he scored. Prior to that, the last goal he scored was in the 3-1 defeat in December. So he's only scored in 2 games since before Christmas. Like, that is awful. That is awful form. You know, and since he's scoring, Leicester ain't winning games. It's crazy.
Yeah, but Iheanacho's better than Rashford, isn't it? So
Iheanacho Rashford thing.
Iheanacho's a very good player. He's very useful, but he's not Rashford's level. He's just not Rashford's level.
I'm hearing people saying that Rashford will be like a nanny. What do you guys think about that? Like, they think he'll be a player that
scored 19 goals in a season. It's already a dead debate. I was talking to someone about Son the other day, right? And different players, of course. Rashford can't dribble like Nani. He can't dribble like Son does. But for me, that's just a feature. That isn't the end result. Like I said before, you can. If I had a player that could dribble better than Eden Hazard, but only scores 6 goals a year, I wouldn't want him. What's the point? Great dribbling. Unless those dribbles were leading to multiple other openings, multiple chances being creative. But if his outputs are half of that of someone who dribbles a little bit more awkwardly, I don't care. Give me the awkward-looking player. There was a report I was reading this morning about Mo Salah. The reason they picked Mo Salah was his outputs. It was Liverpool's transfer strategy under Klopp, and with FSG, it's pretty much moneyball. It's around, we need a player that can do these 10 metrics on a consistent basis, and they review it. That's all it's about. And it's working. So, and yes, the eye test comes into it, but I don't care if you think player A is more aesthetically pleasing than player B. You know, if I've got a player that's producing, you look at, for instance, Haaland. Haaland's not that nice to watch. He's a little bit awkward, a bit gangly, a bit like a you know, like when you watch. I've got these baby horses that live in my back field over the back of my house, right? He reminds me of them learning to walk, right? But he scored 44 goals in 40 games this season. What would you rather? Someone who looks amazing and slick when they move, but they only score 20 goals? You wouldn't. Why would you want that? Again, unless they're completely disrupting your play, like Lukaku used to. But yeah, for me, I look at Rashford. Is he going to be tier 1 Premier League legend? I don't think so. But could he be Andy Cole, Dwight York level? Of course. Can he bang 20, 25 goals a season in for 3 or 4 years on a bounce from a wide position? Yeah, because he already started doing it. You know, and he'll finish on those numbers this year. Plus the assists. So, yeah, he's decent. I just think people just don't like Rashford. A lot of people dislike Rashford because, one, he's a United player, and 2, he's English. If he was a French player at City, you have so much more respect. I think, anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to dip now, boys. So have a good one.
Oh, nice. It's been a good chat, gents. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Oh no, don't go. Elite opinion here.
Oh no, but he's become.
Yeah.
No, he gave but the other day, he was there like, oh yeah, I'm been deluded. The other day, he gave up.
No, I want to talk to this guy because he's talked a lot about Lampard. I don't like it. I've been
let's go.
Elite opinion.
I'm not having it.
Elite opinion. You're in a room right now with 3 Chelsea fans. What you got to say?
Look, it was a nice little win for you guys. Well done. Happy for you guys. But I heard heard someone talk about Jamie Vardy right now, yeah? And I'm so happy to talk about him right now, honestly. That man, I don't know how he's led a career being a kick and run merchant for so long. That guy, he's had what? He's been in the Prem for 1, 2. He's been in the Prem for 5, 6 seasons nearly. Yeah, only 2 of them have been world class. Think about that.
Yeah, but he's won more Premier Leagues in your whole club. So
oh, look at that! Now look at that. That's just unnecessary slander. I'm talking about. I'm talking.
But it's true. He's won more Premier Leagues than Harry Kane.
Look, Jamie Vardy, and he's played 6 seasons. He's played 2 seasons. He's got over 15 goals. You know how disgusting that is for a number 9. A number 9 who's lauded. He's nothing more than a kick and run merchant. Convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. What did he offer than the game running?
I don't think anyone wants to debate you on this one though. But of course,
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're right, bro. It's like if you were attacking a United player, I'd be on you. I'm sure if you were saying that about Tammy Ford and the boys, would be on you. But yeah, cool. Think that. What do you make of the FA Cup semi-final? Of course, you're not there again as a Chelsea supporter, but you guys don't like winning as a City a Spurs fan. But you guys don't really like winning, do you? You like just taking part. You're basically Spurs are like the cucks. They're like the cucks of the football world. Spurs are quite happy to watch another bloke do the business on their misses. I think. You get what I mean?
Well, look, yes, I knew just Tottenham was going to get mentioned immediately as soon as I came to the chat. Look, you know, my favourites for the FA Cup once again, Man City. They're just going to steamroll the league. They steamroll the FA Cup.
No, honestly, we've done a job on them every time we played them. Well, not every time.
What?
The last game we played.
The 2-1 wasn't that bad when we lost to them.
Yeah, we lost them 2-1, but it's again, it was like the United one. But the last game we played against them, where we gave them the ball, like I remember Terry watched it at the start, being like, "Oh, they're really poor. Like I remember watching the game back, and I was like, "This was all part of the plan." Like if you give them the ball, and you are like really good in your block. And you counter, especially with players like Pulisic, you will damage them.
In fairness, though, your first counter attack goal was literally 2 mistakes by them. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. You didn't like it.
Oh,
this is the thing. When people say mistake, that's part of football. You can't justify that as like a.
No. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
Hang on. But 40 minutes ago on this show, when we talked about United Chelsea, it was like, well, you didn't deserve to beat us because we were outplaying you, and then you made a few mistakes, and then you crumbled. I know it's part and parcel of football, but then you can't say you played better. Your game against City the other night was very similar to how United have beaten you a couple of times this year, where you've had the majority of the ball, you've played better, but then we've caught you on the breaks. Like so, even
Man City didn't play better than us. They created like 2 open chances.
Yeah, the XG of the game was 4-0. The XG of the game was 4-0.
My view is very much this: they were dominating the proceedings, your goal, and then I thought they crumbled. But it's a by the by, you won.
I'm really interested.
What I would say, though, Elite, about your opinion is City have had a really easy run in domestic competition.
Yeah, I'm about to say that right now. They get away with it.
One good thing is, at least City, if they get to the final, which they're likely to, at least they're going to have a tough game this time.
Against who? Has a draw been made?
Yes.
Who's playing who?
Chelsea and Man United in one semi, Arsenal, City in the other.
Oh, that's a stitch up. That is the biggest stitch up I've ever seen. Why do Arsenal always get done dirty like this, man? They're bound to.
Surely you'd be happy about that.
No, I'm thinking it's just so unfair, though. I want to see great semi-finals.
I still think Man City are fixing this FA Cup thing. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah, I'm about to say
they fix every tournament. Go look at their Champions League groups.
All teams they play Arsenal. It's just like out of the 4 teams they're playing, the 3 teams you're playing against, the one team you want to play against Arsenal. And then this quarterfinal, the one team you want to play against.
Ban them for 2 seasons. I don't want to see them.
That Chelsea United game, I'm actually going to.
Man United are the easiest quarterfinal. We play Norwich. Norwich are easier than Newcastle, to be fair.
Oh, Norwich are there. I forgot.
Yeah, they played well.
The thing is, this time actually, I just don't see Chelsea being United any way possible. I'm sorry. I think there's one bogey team Chelsea have is United. This United, the bogey team. They just, I don't know why, but that freestyle, inshallah football they play United somehow just gets to Chelsea.
No, trust me, we have many bogey teams. Bournemouth is a big one. West Ham on occasion as well. big bogey team.
I mean, honestly, I don't really believe in bogey teams. I've been listening to this conversation, by the way. I've just been doing something on my laptop, but I don't believe in bogey teams at all because for a long time, United was saying, "Oh, we're a bogey team." So Chelsea are a bogey team away from home. They hadn't won at Stamford Bridge for about 10, 12 years or whatever it was, and then you beat us there this season. So I don't believe in all of that. And I think a massive factor in those games from an actual tactical point of view is N'Golo Kante wasn't playing in those games. He came on late, I think when it was already 3-0 in the first game. He didn't play in the cup game or the league game at home. So I think him actually playing that and also being as our actual DM and not Jorginho is going to make a massive effect on that game. And yes, you guys have got Fernandes there, you have Pogba there, and you guys have a more attacking outlet. I understand that. But given the form that Chelsea are in right now, having N'Golo Kante back and also the 5 substitutes, which I think benefits us more than most teams, we're gonna get United back, and we will. You're not gonna beat us 4 times in a season. I don't believe that's gonna ever happen. Man.
Wait, Terry, we need it's perfect. The other guy brought up a Kante. We need to speak on Kante this season. He's been shadowed away from criticism. Let's be honest here. I watched him against.
He's been injured.
I'm gonna respond to this. Let him finish this point. I'm gonna respond to this.
You know, this today was the
How
asset.
can you prove that?
Just wait.
Prove it. Like,
listen.
prove it.
If you want to listen. The asset test for him today was against Ndidi, another up and coming CDM. Yeah, in Ndidi, I've seen him have about 5 duels. Ndidi won around 4 of them. It was disgusting.
And so you're comparing a duel with one player to his performance in the whole season. How does that make sense?
Ndidi pocketed Kante like it was nothing. Just absolutely.
Okay, you're just trolling now, bro. Okay, for a start, let me address this.
Guys, all stop a second. Forward, go on, mate.
Tottenham team.
Let me first of all address this, right? So your first point, Kante's been shocking this season. For a start, he's been injured most of the season, and he's been coming back. First of all, because Sarri was overplaying him in last season, and he obviously then played that Europa League final on 1 foot and still bins that Arsenal, sent to our home crying off the pitch at 60 minutes, and we won the cup. Now you look at it this season. Yes, he's been injured in a lot of games, but in some of the big games that he's played, he produced one of the best midfield performances of the entire season against Liverpool in the Super Cup. We were unlucky to lose the penalty. Let me finish. Let me finish. Then against Liverpool in the league, he scored one of the best solo goals of a midfielder in the Premier League this season. No lies about that. Also scored against Man City at home as well. So when he's played this season, he's had a lot of good games. He's also had some bad games because he's been rushed back from injury, which again, Lampard's made a mistake of. But he even said that I've rushed Kante back at times. So Sarri has said that as well. So I think judging Kante off of a few games this season where he hasn't played well, yes, he hasn't played well in a couple of games, but a lot of the big games he has performed. And when he comes back and plays Man United in this FA Cup semi-final, he will perform. I can guarantee you that.
I put any money right now. United win that game.
Elite opinions. I know that you try to drag me in on this. You won't hear me say a bad word about Kante. I think he is. I said it for a while. The best holding midfield player in the world.
Oh,
facts.
Who's better than him then? Who's better than him?
Not him. Casemiro is better than him. Fernandinho is better than him.
But you don't watch Real Madrid week in, week out. No. You don't watch Real Madrid week in, week out to say Casemiro. That's a shocking opinion.
What I would say to you on that elite is this, right? Someone who hasn't got a dog in this fight. You do. I haven't got a dog in the fight. Those players you all said are really good. And if you prefer them, you prefer them. But you're making it sound like those guys are head and shoulders above him. Kante's in the even if you think 3 or 4 players are better than him, fine. Kante's on their level still.
He hasn't been good for a while, though.
No, that's nonsense. It's nonsense.
He's hardly played this season. How can you say he's not been good for a while? And yet when he's played in big games this season, he's performed. He's performed in big games this season.
I'm sorry, but you've convinced yourself a goal against Liverpool would mean that he played a great game.
No, he performed that game. And if you watch the Super Cup, you will know Kante.
Let's ask
Let's say, Lee, when we get to this semi-final, if everybody's fit and playing, we have to make that stipulation. United winning versus Chelsea winning will come down to between the duels between whoever plays in our 10, which is probably going to be Bruno Fernandes and Kante. If Kante stops him and nullifies him, and then the rest of the team stop Pogba, we ain't going to create, we ain't going to win. It will be a battle between those guys there in terms of that. You'll have you're going to have Kovacic that's going to be covering the Pogba situation, and you'll have Kante whose task will be not solely, we'll do other things as well because he can multitask, but it will be to nullify, and there'll be the battles. It won't be our CDM versus their CDM because that's a weird battle anyway, because that's not really how it works. You know, sometimes you get a game where they go, it's Harry Kane versus Aguero. It really isn't. It's Harry Kane versus Laporte because that's the battle, and that's what it's going to be in the game. So I'm not going to sit here ever and slag off Kante. He's too damn good to slag off.
He's living off a World Cup. He's living off a World Cup, man. He's living off a World Cup.
Back to back. Hang on, how many other players in Premier League history won back-to-back league titles with 2 different teams?
This man's talking wet, bro. Get him off.
Living off a
Nah, he's waffling, Bears. Leave him.
PFA player of the year is
How can you tell me someone's living off of being a waffle?
No, listen, you're gonna listen to me. First of all,
you know nothing about
no,
football.
listen. Listen, I don't care. First of all, wipe that shit coming out of your mouth and listen to me. When I talk about
you can speak, but no one's hearing you because you're talking nonsense, bro.
He's had one season where you can say, wow, he's truly performed at an elite level. The season where Conte was elite, I can say yes.
Fam, your manager's a downgrade.
The World Cup, yeah. The World Cup, he was in the World Cup, he had a great performance. But since the World Cup, he's been average.
I mean, I feel for the guy because he judges Kante off of watching Dyer week in, week out DMs for his club. So I feel for the guy. I mean, his football palette is clearly malnourished. So I feel for him,
how can you have a football debate with someone who mentioned someone else's team? That doesn't make sense.
My guy's football.
You're comparing Casemiro. You just compare Casemiro.
No. Wait. Elite, you said he's had one good season, right? Which season was that?
16-17.
Which season? So the Leicester one or the Chelsea?
He won't play the season after. Even with his peers and football writers.
Even one you pick, you're going to lose because he's definitely had at least two.
Can I speak? It's just 4 Chelsea fans just talking 3 Chelsea fans talking nonsense. Since he joined Chelsea, forget about Leicester. Since he joined Chelsea, 16-17 has been his only world-class season.
This guy's waffling.
In your opinion, in your elite opinion, that's fine. That's fine. In your opinion, that's fine.
We have to look at statistics here as well. Right?
I'm ready to look at statistics then.
But you have to look at statistics as well. If you look at him and his performances over the last 3 seasons, I was looking at this just the other day. The amount of interceptions, the amount of defensive duels, the amount of tackles that he wins, the amount of times he wins slide tackles, the amount of times he possesses, the amount of times he recovers the ball. That's a lot of metrics, and they're all very key to the role that he does. He's on par with Ndidi, right? On par. Ndidi has some numbers that are bigger than him and other numbers that are not, right? But it's all there or thereabouts. Thomas Partey's numbers are below him as an example, right? So you're saying he's been trash, but then you're naming other players that are like supposedly shitting on him as an example. Doesn't make any sense. Even if he has been poor, let's just say he has been in your world. A poor Kante is still outperforming the players that you think are better than him. That tells you the quality that he's at, even if you think he's been poor. It's a crazy notion. It's a bit like what Pitbull did yesterday with Bruno Fernandes. He didn't have a great game, but he was still the most creative player on the pitch. He was still opening teams up. He still led. He's superb touch led to him being sent off. If that's an overrated, out of form player, give me 11 of them. Like,
and just to also add to that point, a lot of people would say, "Oh, Kante's not been playing in his right position the last few seasons as well. He's actually been playing further up the pitch, and yet he's still providing these interception numbers, these tackling numbers." So, again, to now say that he's not one of the best teams in the world is just complete fallacy. Complete.
It's a madness. Elite, thank you for coming on, mate. Boys, I appreciate all your opinions. Everyone who's tuned in, hit the like buttons, share buttons, retweet buttons, and everything else. Big weekend in 3 weeks in the FA. I mean, most people don't like the FA Cup anymore. It's dying out. But it's
a 10-pot trophy, man. It's a 10-pot trophy.
You haven't won it, mate.
Bro,
man's still salty about He's still salty about Matic. You remember Jermaine Genius deserved to win the game.
That semi-final was fixed.
Listen, I'm sorry. Elite, come back when you win a last time. You joke, man.
Elite. The last time your club listed the FA Cup, you in your dad.
Look, listen. It's well known we've been stitched up at Wembley. We've been stitched up at Wembley so many times, man.
Fan laugh at anybody else. No. Crazy, bro.
Hey Terry, can we end it on this? How can teams win more games in their own stadium when they're in Wembley Stadium than their own team?
We've been stitched up. Listen, we've been stitched up continuously. That 4-2 against Chelsea, you should have 2 penalties. That game against United, we got robbed as well. We've been stitched up continuously.
Are you even in the top 6?
We've been stitched up continuously, man. We finished higher than you last season.
Your current manager is washed up Mourinho. Like, you've got no foot right now. You've got no foot.
You finished higher than us last season.
You can't hand out banter.
What did you just say?
You can't.
Last season. Where we finished last season? What did you win last season? You won the Europa League and got top 3. Where was you?
Oh, here we go.
Where was you?
Just another.
Man United have had their worst run of form in 30 plus years, and we've still won 3 trophies in that time. Well, bruv, you've got to stop winning trophies, man. You're still standing like Poch, and by the way, Poch has won nothing. We don't want to win. We only want to win big trophies at Tottenham. Jesus Christ, bruv, you've won nothing. You're literally a League Cup. 2 League Cups in 20 years, and maybe what the Audi Cup or something. That's it, bruv. How can you talk about winning? How can you talk about winning, bro?
We've played a beautiful football. Before Mourinho, we've played absolutely beautiful football.
Yeah, and it got you nowhere.
And where did they get you? And where did they get you?
And that's all I care about.
Where did they get you?
That's all I care about.
Bro, listen. You're friend zoned.
Where do beautiful football get you?
Got you friend zoned. That's all you got. You got.
Listen, I would rather see myself.
Like Terry said, you're a bridesmaid. Like Terry said, you're a bridesmaid. That's what you are.
Spurs, yeah, the bridesmaids. You're the cocks. You're the friend zone. You do all the work. You buy the flowers. You buy the chocolates. You take them out. You do everything. And then are you coming out tonight, Sarah? No, she's being dicked down by Brad. That's Spurs. Friend zone football. Every day of the week, you get dicked down all the time. Well, don't actually get dicked down. You get nothing. They go on to someone else. You're dead, bro. You finished. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. I'm sorry, Elite.
I'm sorry. I can't argue with a club that's beat. I wasn't in Bournemouth before 2003. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
How
history, mate.
Absolute rent boys, man.
Dave, leave it. Let him do his history.
Man said rent boys. Yeah, these guys were renting out Wembley.
Listen. You were Watford before 2003, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, and you're Watford now.
Was we not getting top half of the table? What are you talking about, bro? Do history, please. History.
Look, I've bantered Chelsea in the past. But Chelsea, before Roman's money, were qualifying for Champions League and were winning FA Cup.
Thank you.
Yes, they were.
We actually beat Liverpool on the last day of the season to get top 4, which is why Abramovich took us over.
Absolute nonsense.
If this guy did his history, he would know that, but obviously he didn't do his history.
So we make up history now.
Why do I care about Chelsea's history?
On history, I'll tell you some little Tottenham history. I know Spurs and Chelsea have always had their problems. The real reason Spurs fans hate on you guys for getting the money is because Roman Abramovich was first trying to buy Tottenham and the deal fell through. He then went to Chelsea. That's a fact.
He went to a club he could control more, man.
No. We hand you man L's. Roman didn't want to buy you. William didn't want to move to you. You're dead.
Bro, William was sitting on your medical bench. He done a medical at Tottenham. Chelsea picked the phone up and he left with his boxer shorts on. How does that make sense?
I can happily say my club has had 137 years of pure great football. Well, you guys can just say you've been relevant since 2003. I'm sorry.
This guy's never been relevant. He's never been relevant.
Waffling.
That makes sense. It doesn't make sense what you're saying, bruv. It doesn't make sense.
Sorry, he's that. You know why he's deluded? Because he admitted it himself. That's the end of the joke. He admitted it himself.
What's crazy? This is how I'm gonna look at music equivalent here. This is like, do you remember the band Steps? It's like Steps pretending they're as good as the Beatles. That's it. That's it, bro. Your Steps. Clubs like us, we're the Beatles. We're Elvis Presley. We're Jay-Z. We're Michael Jackson. We're Stevie Wonder. Your Steps. You know, you're not even the Spice Girls. You're Steps.
You know what? They're just Tottenham.
Yeah.
You can't say
that's
Tottenham.
all they are.
Spursy.
Spurs. Just Spurs.
Your club is a fucking verb, bro. It's mad.
You play NFL in the stadium, you still can't get enough money to buy a flipping CDM.
There we go. Boys, I've got a chip, though. Listen, everyone, take care of yourselves. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Peace.
Tim Patrick.